Welcome back to another episode of How Did They Grow? I created this podcast because I wanted you to learn how other coaches, freelancers, service providers, and course sellers are growing their business, landing 10 to 20 new clients every single month, paying them 50, 100, 200K months. See, if they've done it, you can too. And that's just the reality. And I want you to listen to these podcasts to understand what strategies are they using, what techniques are they exploring, because it's in these gems that you can apply it to your business and actually scale things up. When you're ready and you feel like you actually want to learn practical, proven methodologies, or even you want to hire a team that can build you a profitable personal brand, book in a chat with our team because we can guarantee you go viral and guarantee you get clients for your business.
And welcome to the show, guys. This is the How Did They Grow podcast. And today we have on Nakula Das. Tell me I got that right, Nakula.
Oh yeah, you got it. Nailed it.
Perfect. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So like you mentioned, my name is Nakula Das. I help men master their sexual energy and unleash their God-given abilities and talents. I've been a coach and trainer for over a decade, and this is year 5, helping men specifically in this particular niche, in this particular way.
Amazing. How did that start?
Yeah, so it started in my own journey. I was deep into my own spiritual path, as I still am, and learning about different ways to grow consciously. And this concept of brahmachari, this concept of chastity, this concept of using our sexual energy, especially as men, it actually was introduced to me by Napoleon Hill in the book Think and Grow Rich. Chapter 11 is called The Mysteries of Sex Transmutation. And so this concept of transmuting our energy and transmuting our base desire, sex being one of our basic motivators, it makes us get up and, it makes the world go round, as many people say. We said, how do we use this drive for higher purposes? So with my own journey with things like pornography and adult content, getting sucked down into that hole, I recognize how I was not using my energy, not using my time, not using my strength as a man in the most wisest way. And I really wanted to learn how to transmute that energy. And so in my own spiritual path and my own personal development path, I started learning from monks, from teachers, from different practitioners of different traditions. I've studied all the world scriptures, and I learned that the essence of all traditions continuously goes to this essence of transmuting your lust into love. And so I got into these practices myself. I started practicing breathwork techniques and muscle control techniques and meditations that are specifically designed to draw that energy up into the body, transmute it, and put that towards higher pursuits. So better relationships, ultimate health, and ultimately to be able to accumulate, become magnetic so that we can go out there and be impactful in the world.
Amazing. I think that's an amazing story and an amazing journey as well. Would you say you've always seen yourself as a coach in terms of like, did you always see yourself as a coach, as an entrepreneur, as someone who's inspiring people to make change, or was it something that kind of developed?
I always saw myself as an entrepreneur. My highest value is freedom. And so even as a kid in high school, I was like, I ain't going to work for nobody. I'm going to work for myself. I'm going to carve my own path. So that's always been in my blood and sort of in my spirit. But as particular as a coach, I actually started to see myself as a coach after I hired a coach myself. And I started getting benefit. My first company was called My Cleaning Guy. It was a commercial cleaning company. So I was out there cleaning carpets. And, I had to grow my business. I had to sell. And I recognized I had tons of fear around selling, tons of fear around talking to people. I didn't really have a strategy. And so I hired a coach. I met a coach at a networking event. I hired a coach and she began to help me. And what I realized was that coaching was so much more than just teaching someone business, but it was about transforming their lives, transforming their mindset. And so I fell in love with personal development. I fell in love with the coaching industry because I really fell in love with helping and serving people at this level. And so as I started working with the coach, I remember one day we were sitting there with all the plans of how we were going to franchise this cleaning company and become this cleaning empire. And I said to her, I don't want to do this. She's like, what? This is after months of coaching and building and having success. I was like, I don't want to do this. She said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to do what you do. I want to help people in the way that you've helped me, not only to grow my business, but to recognize a deeper aspect of who I am, to transform my mind, to understand how my psychology directly impacts the quality of life that I'm having. And so I sold my half of that company and I got into coaching. And that was probably 13, 14 years ago. And, I've done many different niches, finding my voice, finding my path. And then as I became drawn more and more to my own spiritual path and to my relationship with God, then I started seeing this niche and this opportunity to teach men, first of all, the importance of their sexual energy, how it impacts them, and how they can use that energy to grow spiritually and successfully as well.
That's amazing. That's amazing. How long ago was it till you made the transition to not just, coaching, but like the sexual energy thing in particular?
Yes. So specifically, I launched this men's training business about 5 years ago. This is year number 5 of this business. And since then, I've had over 3,000 men come through my different trainings and programs.
Those are some amazing numbers. Some amazing numbers. Did you start from the beginning using social media as kind of a billboard for yourself, or was that something that came later on?
Yeah, actually, my first, how I started building this business is I was using YouTube. So I started with my YouTube channel and I started creating content on YouTube. I had a few YouTube videos do really well. And since then, my channel has had close to 2 million views and about 13,000 subscribers as it sits today. And then later on, as I was building YouTube, I recognized I wanted a different platform. I wanted a new way and a more personal way to connect with my audience and with new guys. And so I jumped onto Instagram and I launched my Instagram account and I started having tremendous amounts of success. In fact, so my number one way for attracting people to my business right now is Instagram, and YouTube is number 2.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's kind of similar to what we do and how we help our clients do it. Kind of, get our audience into what you're doing. What's your strategy to get those clients in from posting to a sales call? What does that look like?
Okay, so the strategy is I do 2 reels per day plus posts per day. And I'm giving, anywhere from 30 to 67 value points. So my whole goal is to give a ton of value, just like you guys. Go out and be of service, give tips, give inspiration, but give really tangible practices that men can use. One thing that I like to pride myself on is how many comments I get and how many messages I get saying, Nakula, your content alone has transformed my life. I am a better man today because of your content. And I think it's really important as content creators, especially I'm not just going for internet fame, I'm going for impact. And if you want to make an impact, you've got to give value. So my whole mindset and my heart says, give value and the rest will take care of itself. So I go out, I create content, and I do that consistently. 2 reels every single day, day in, day out. I do not miss it. I'm very consistent, and consistency builds trust. And then as I gain more followers, I reach out to those followers and I drop a voice message. So for example, let's say I was messaging you, Mike, I would say, Mike, thanks so much for connecting with me here on Instagram. I do appreciate it. I like to reach out, build real connections, provide real value for the men that are connecting with me. It's actually why I put together the free sex transmutation guide, which is a full free video program teaching you how to transmute your energy, teaching you about the relationship between your sexual energy and your ability to create impact and influence and have magnetism. Let me know if you want to take advantage of the training and I'll drop it in the link. I appreciate you connecting with me. I use that almost on every single guy that connects with me. They message me back. hey, thanks so much. The personal touch of a voicemail is really nice. I get into a conversation, I give them the free training, and then from the free training, I ask them why do they connect with me? What is it that they're looking for? Why would they be interested in this type of content? And then they'll share what they're interested in, or they'll share what their challenges are. And then based upon that, I'll recommend jumping on a call with me. And on the call, I'll have an initial discovery session. If I see that I can help them, I'll share with them one of my programs to be able to support them, and they'll purchase the program. And there you go. They're inside my program.
I hope you're enjoying this podcast. I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're learning so much practical wisdom, because that's what I really wanted from this podcast. Now, I just want to quickly say, if you're looking for a team that can actually help you explode and go viral with your personal brand with proven methodologies, I say this because I've been doing this for the past 5 years. We've got a team of 30 people who are ready to go ahead and explode your brand so you can get clients begging to work with you. Have a chat with one of our advisors. You can book in a chat using one of the links around this video, because that chat might just change your life.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And as I said, that's pretty similar to what we do in terms of leveraging that organic content, building that trust, making that consistency a thing where you are able to turn those followers into clients. And I think you said something which is amazing, which is posting, I think 2 times a day with another post as well, an extra post. I'm sure the listeners, your listeners are like coaches trying to break past 10K, trying to get into social media. What would you say? What would you tell them, like looking down at them? What would you say is like one thing they should be aware of, and they're going to struggle with this on this journey of being consistent? What is that one thing that's going to hold them back from being consistent so they can be aware of it and kind of find a way around it?
Yeah, so the thing that's going to stop you from being consistent is a couple things. One, your own little voice. 80% mindset, 20% strategy. The strategy works. So if you're not seeing success, then you have to check in with your own mindset. Do you have something stopping you from putting yourself out there in an authentic way? The second thing that's going to stop you from being consistent is you're going to measure the wrong thing, which is the followers and the likes. You're going to go for recognition and that quick dopamine. Am I getting a heart, as opposed to impact? I've been consistently posting for years, 2 reels per day. And to this day, I do it with the intention to give value. And I put the post out there and I let it do what it's going to do. Some of my reels get 100 views, 200 views, 400 views, 500 views. I've had a reel get 1.5 million views in like 3 to 4 days. Some get 100,000 views. Some get 300 views. It does not matter. I don't look at that. What I look at is, am I being consistent and am I getting better? So when you shift the intention from what am I getting, and am I getting this recognition, am I getting Instagram famous, to am I making an impact? Am I connecting? If I reach one person with this video and I make a difference in this one person's life, then this video is worth it. And for every video that I put out, I set my intention. Let this video reach the right person and make a difference in their life. And I just absolutely have full faith in the law of reciprocity, that as I sow, I reap. So if I sow good videos, good content, and I give good value, I reap the benefits. And so far, it's been working nicely.
Amazing. That's some amazing advice, and I'm sure the audience will take into it. How much would you say social media has played in the role of your business? Would you say, where would you be without it?
Oh my goodness. I mean, look, I'm in one way, I'm so dependent on social media, right? Like I build my business through social media. So where would I be without it? I would probably be doing what I used to do years ago when I first got into the coaching business, which was coffee shop meetings, one-to-one coffee shop meetings, trying to fill seminar rooms, and then selling programs on the back of the seminar room. And I'll tell you, when I went from that strategy and I really focused on the online strategy, my whole network and business exploded. Instead of reaching 1, 2, 3 people a day, sitting all day in a coffee shop waiting for the next person to show up, I can now schedule 3, 4, 5, 10 meetings. Monday, I had 11 meetings on my schedule. Right? I do anywhere. I'll tell you something. If you want to make $100,000 as a coach, you need to have anywhere from 8 to 12 discovery sessions booked on your calendar, selling anywhere from $1,000 to a $10,000 program. So I sell, right, anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000. If you are not doing 8 to 12 meetings per week, you are not getting the practice to learn how to structure your offer, to learn how to talk to people, and to sell programs. And therefore, you're not making the impact that you want to make. So where would I be? I would be door knocking and, networking events, coffee shop meetings. If social media didn't exist, I'm so grateful social media exists. It's changed my life. And not only do I do a ton of calls and make good income, I have a great lifestyle to go along with it. I work from home. I set my hours. I work with amazing people that resonate with me and I resonate with them. And I spend a lot of time doing fun shit as well.
I think that's amazing. I think that's one thing that's one of the benefits of being, a quote unquote digital nomad, where you're able to work from anywhere and basically live the life that you love.
Yeah, you dictate your time.
Yeah, and it's amazing. It's amazing. It's just amazing. I can't speak too much about it. Yeah. How are you able to stay consistent with that amount of posting? I'm sure the listeners will be thinking like, man, if I try to do that, I'll burn out in the first couple of weeks. Would you have some kind of a system in place, kind of people helping you out? Maybe you got VAs. What do you do?
Yeah, actually, I do my own content right now still. I've actually had VAs. I've had people do my content. I went back to doing my own content. I'll tell you this, it takes me, when you get good, it doesn't take very much time. So I'll tell you, it takes me 1 minute, 60-second video to record the video. I don't do double takes. I don't look at my video 100 times and, oh my gosh, I stumbled, or my sweater wasn't looking so good. I shot a video today, and after I posted, I noticed my sweater was like a little off. And I was like, oh, well, you know what? It's real life. It's all good. So I don't put that much emphasis on those types of things. I allow myself to stumble. I'm a real human. I just give the information authentically. And because I've been doing it for so long, I'm just really good at doing it in one take. So 2 videos, 60 seconds each. Let's say the total thing takes me 4 to 5 minutes. Set up my camera, press record, drop my video. I also do videos when I'm feeling inspired. So let's say I've got the camera holder in my car. Let's say I'm heading back from the gym and I get an idea. I just hit record and I do my video, and then I bank those videos. So whenever I'm inspired, I do my video. So that way I've got content lined up. Then it takes me 15 minutes to post it onto Instagram, to do a little bit of editing, to put the captions, to put, some nice little graphics on it. I pop it up there. Instagram has a wonderful feature where it downloads it and it gives it to you right on your phone. And then I take that and I pop it up on the rest of my social medias. So half an hour a day max, and you can do 2 videos per day. And then the other objection I generally get around that is, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to talk about? Well, first of all, talk about the same thing over and over again. I talk about 3 subjects over and over again: NoFap, semen retention, and transmuting that energy to leadership abilities. So have your solid niche. Don't change your message. Don't feel like you have to come up with a million things to talk about. Talk about the same thing from all kinds of different angles. I love that Bruce Lee has a saying, I'm not scared of the man who's practiced 1,000 kicks. I'm scared of the man who's practiced 1 kick 1,000 times. Get really good at saying your message 1,000 times and keep honing that message. And that way you get known as the expert in that niche, and you get known as the go-to person. And here's a beautiful thing. The more that you talk about something, the more your neural pathways start connecting in your brain and starts giving you ideas. I've been doing this. I have over 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel around semen retention and NoFap, and I still have content going.
Amazing. Amazing. Man, I think you've come a long way. 5 years is not is not like, it's a lot of time to be doing the things you're doing. So I think it's amazing. What would you say is the goal for you? You know, you personally and your personal brand and your company, your coaching business. Where do you see yourself in 2025? What do you see yourself doing? How different
Yeah.
do
So
you
first,
expect?
yeah, thank you. So what I see, first of all, continuing to do what I'm doing. I am constantly improving our program and our training to get better and better. We've got to get really good at delivering value. And so I'm always challenging myself and anyone on my team to, how do we get better? How do we get better? So we're committed to always improving. The second thing I see is, the second thing that I see is reaching more people so that we can serve and make more impact with more people. Because our program is so good, because we've got a track record of success that we've built over the last few years, we can now scale up and help many more guys with their challenges. And so we want to expand our reach and expand the amount of people that we're connecting with. And the third place is continue to build my personal brand. I'm going to get into some preaching work, some speaking activities as well. I'm going to be using that as additional content to amplify my position as an expert and to reach more people.
Amazing. Those, 1 second. Yeah. Amazing. Those are some amazing goals for 2024. Kind of tell us maybe what are the steps you have in mind to kind of getting to that position so the audience can kind of benefit?
Yeah. So first of all, one, it's about consistency. So I'm going to stay consistent to do what I'm doing. I'm always open to looking at new strategies and opportunities to be able to leverage myself, to leverage my content, my expertise. So I'm very open to looking at new opportunities. I think it's important to be open. You know, many coaches, I have one coach I was talking to, and she said that when people reach out to prospect her, she doesn't answer. She kind of got annoyed with it. And I said, well, that's interesting, because don't you reach out to prospect others, right? Don't you want to sell to others? I do. So any salesperson that reaches out to me, I have this personal rule and philosophy that says, even if I don't buy to them, I will be kind to them and I will give them the time of day to at least give me their pitch. That way I can learn. And so I'm very open. And so I'm looking for new ways to leverage. I'm very open to new strategies. I think that AI is a wonderful tool that we should be leveraging as coaches to increase efficiency. So we'll be looking into those type of opportunities. And then both, it's kind of a hybrid of an offline online strategy. Is I'm putting a lot of focus in over the next few months to developing a speaking ministry in which I'm going to be going out into the community, into the world, into temples, churches, community centers, and doing events to talk more about how sexual energy can develop our relationship with God and how we should engage it. And by doing that, I can leverage more content. I can have content with me in front of audiences that position me as an expert, and obviously leverages, gives me opportunity to sell one to many.
Definitely. I think that's amazing. I think this has been really good. I think we've kind of come full circle here. Let me kind of ask you, what is one thing you wish I asked you on this podcast?
What is one thing you wish I wish you asked me on this podcast? How does sexual energy, for whether you're a man or a woman, impact your content creation and your ability to track people on social media?
Amazing. Let's kind of get into that. How does it affect?
Okay, so sexual energy is not just the physical expression. That's the first way that we look at it. But sexual energy is what gives us our magnetism, our charisma. In the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and if you haven't read it, go read it. And I encourage everyone, even if you don't read the whole book, just read the portion, The Mystery of Sex Transmutation, chapter 11. He specifically says that there is not a great leader, creator, inventor that doesn't have magnetism. And magnetism directly comes from being able to harness that energy and use it. So a person who can control that energy and can use that energy in a conscious way is going to be more magnetic, charismatic. They're going to have enthusiasm. They're going to have an aura about them which is attractive, and that's going to directly show up in your content, which is going to make your content on the subtle level stick out. You're literally going to have a glow about you that people are going to want to be like, I don't know what it is about this guy or this gal, but I want to listen. And that's directly how it's going to impact your ability to attract clients and make the impact that you want in the world.
Yeah, amazing. So you're saying that that sexual energy, retaining that sexual energy, gives you this aura that even goes not just person to person, but even over a screen.
Absolutely. It shows up in your voice, in your tonality. It shows up in the amount of enthusiasm. Someone who lacks that energy or is depleting that energy, they're going to be more tired. They're not going to be as creative. They're not going to be as sharp. But someone who has, the Sanskrit word is called vira, potency, right? Someone who is potent, they're going to penetrate the world, not just physically what I'm talking about, but with their mind, with their heart, with their enthusiasm. And enthusiasm and passion is one of the major factors in attracting and magnetizing people towards your brand.
Amazing, amazing. So that aura is really important. You know, aura is a word that's trending now on social media. So I think,
Okay.
you know, retaining that sexual energy is going to give you plus 2,000, 5,000 aura.
Absolutely, it will. It'll make you shine. It'll make you magnetic, and it's really going to come across on the subtle level to the folks that are connecting with you.
Definitely, definitely. So where can the people kind of go to find out and learn more about what you do?
Yeah, well, depending if wherever you're watching this, I'm sure like if it's on Instagram, just follow me on Instagram, Nakula Dawes. You can go to nakuladawes.com and check out my website, and then all my social medias are linked from there.
Amazing, amazing. And by the way, if you're listening on audio, Nakula Dawes is Nakuladadas. Right?
That's correct. Yes.
Amazing. This has been amazing, Matt. Hopefully we can have you on some other time to kind of break down some more strategies.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
I really hope you enjoyed this podcast. I want you to go away and execute everything there is that you've learned. Now, one thing I will say is if you're in a position where you're ready to actually take things to another level, you want structured, clear guidance, you want a team that can actually help accelerate you, book in a chat with our advisors. Why? We can blow up your personal brand to attract clients begging to work with you. All you got to do is book in a chat with our advisors and we can help make it happen. Sound fair enough?